Someone asked you how many children you have, and the world stopped for a full second. You felt your throat close, and your mind split into two impossible answers at once. 2. You say 1 and erase them completely? Do you say none and pretend they never existed? Do you explain the whole catastrophic story to a stranger who was just making conversation? Most bereaved parents quietly disappear a child from their public identity to avoid the discomfort. They give the easy answer and then carry the guilt of that erasure. For the rest of the day, stay with me, because I want to give you something different to stand on today. Something that speaks directly to the question of who you actually are after loss. Here is the truth that the world does not talk about clearly enough yet. You are still a parent. Now we're a parent. Are. Present tense. Active tense. Ongoing and unrevoked. The question of whether you are a parent is not answered by whether your child is alive. Parenthood is not a status that is granted by a living presence and revoked by absence. It is an identity that was created the moment your body began the work of becoming a parent. That work began before birth. It began in the choosing, the preparing, the hoping, the waiting. It began in the changes your body made and the changes your heart made long before the ending. Those changes do not unhappen when the outcome changes. You became someone different. Permanently. You are someone who has loved a child with your whole body. Your whole sleep, your whole future. That is not a temporary state. That is not something that can be canceled retroactively by loss. Parenting does not require a physical child present to be real. Parenting is a relationship. And relationships exist in the hearts and minds of the people who hold them. Not only in physical space, you are still in a relationship with your child. It simply looks different than you planned. Instead of bathing them and feeding them and watching them sleep, you are doing something else now. You are keeping their memories safe in a world that will quickly forget. If you do not hold it, you are ensuring they are named and known and spoken of with love by at least one person. You are carrying them in the way the living carry the no longer present. In story, in love, in identity. That is not nothing. That is one of the most demanding and invisible forms of parenting that exists. It requires you to grieve and love and hold simultaneously, with no external reward and no witnesses. It requires you to stay soft toward a child who cannot respond, who cannot grow, who cannot change. It requires a kind of sustained, unconditional, completely unrewarded love that most people never have to sustain, and you are doing it. Every day you carry their name inside you. You are doing that work. Consider what parenting actually is at its most essential, stripped of all the practical tasks. Parenting is choosing to love someone more than yourself, consistently, without always getting something back. It is prioritizing another person's existence in your own inner life over your own ease or comfort. It is keeping another human being at the center of your identity, even when it costs you enormously, by every one of those measures. You are actively parenting right now in this very moment. You are putting your child's existence above your own comfort by carrying them through the world. You are centering them in your identity every time you refuse to pretend they were never here. You are loving them consistently and generously in a way that gets you very little in return. That is parenting. Incomplete, invisible, heartbreaking, profound, and completely real parenting. Some of the most devoted parents who have ever existed have been parents in exactly this way. Parents who have kept faith with a child who could not be present, could not grow, could not speak. That faithfulness is not lesser parenting. It is not a consolation prize for a real version of the thing. It is its own form of the thing, demanding and genuine and worthy. of the name. The next time someone asks how many children you have, you do not owe them a perfect answer. You are allowed to say whatever protects you in that moment, and that is not a betrayal, but inside yourself. You are allowed to know the true answer with clarity and without apology. The true answer is that you are a parent. You have always been a parent. You remain one now. Your child did not take your parenthood when they left. They gave it to you, and it stayed. There are things that happen only inside a parent's body, not inside anyone else's at all. The way your arms automatically calculate weight and position when you see a baby being held. The way a particular cry in a crowded place stops your heart and turns your head before your mind does. The way your body still knows all the old rhythms, the rocking, the shushing, the listening at night. Those reflexes do not belong to a childless person. They belong to a parent who learned them deeply, and your body learned them. Whether or not anyone can see the child those reflexes were built for. You are still a parent in the body that learned to be a parent and did not forget how. You are still a parent in the love that has no new direction to travel toward and so stays close. You are still a parent in the way you protect their story, their name, their brief and real existence. Nobody gets to take that identity from you. Not time. Not absence. Not other people's discomfort. Let us come back to the weight of ordinary days and what you actually carry in them. You carry their name. You carry the image of their face. You carry the love that has nowhere to go. You carry the future you imagined and the past that was briefer than any heart should have to hold. That is not a light load. It is one of the heaviest things a human being can carry forward. And you are carrying it, not perfectly, not without collapse, but carrying it and still here. A parent still, a parent always. A parent in every way that matters most and costs the most. There are things that happen only inside a parent's body, not inside anyone else's at all.